the best defense in the Madden Classic. We had the qualification games over the weekend. Group stages went down, and now players are heading to the live finals in California. People pretty excited, but there was some really good performances. Some players, had unlucky. Some guys didn't play their best games, but a lot of people showed up in the biggest moments when it mattered. I thought defense won out more so than offense.
Oh yeah.
Last year I felt like, Spot Me Please showed up and everyone's like, yo, this guy's offense is insane. But this year, the story I heard was more defense.
Yep.
And I don't know if you felt that way or
in
what
general.
impressed you.
In general, what I'm really impressed by is how people are running cover 2. And, I think for a very long time in the Madden community, cover 2 has been like the it's like the defense that everyone kind of like would make fun of.
Right.
Sort of, right? Like, cover 2, you can't call cover 2, man. You can't. Yeah, cover 2 is, you don't run cover 2. But more and more, as this game becomes more authentic, we're finding that cover 2 is the D, kind of, right? I would say the single most impressive defense that I saw all weekend long, I saw 3 of them. But the one I want to highlight right here first comes from, I think he could have done it from nickel normal, but the example here is nickel 245 even. From what I saw was from Jet. Sonic Boom. Now, out of full transparency, I don't want to explain what he did step for step because that's what he's running, but I want to kind of just show you what it looked like, right? So it was a cover 2 play, so you could really be any cover 2, nickel blitz 2, but you could really do it from any cover 2. But the base idea, when we tell you to blitz, one thing we've always talked about was like you want to have guys up right at the line of scrimmage. Now, what was a couple of years ago where we had the idea and the theory, like when the dime flat pressure we found, right? It was like you kind of want to be further away, like where this right slot guy is, right?
Right.
You want to be a little further away.
Because the further away as the blitzer is from the line, the less attention they're going to pay to him, and you could kind of pretend. It's a little more delayed, obviously, but it's still good.
So if we rewind the clock and we go back to yesteryear of Madden tips or the way people blitzed, if you're new to Madden, this might sound a little more. It might sound crazy, but we used to blitz like this. You'd have an outside corner, or you'd have an outside linebacker, and they'd be on the hip of the D end, right? That's how we blitzed, and believe it or not, you were able to get edge pressure clean from either side, and it was hot pressure. It was hot fire, right? But now what we see, that actually came in, of course it did. But now what we're seeing is that the closer you put guys to line of scrimmage, the offensive line works smarter as a unit. There's more tools to help you pick up those pressures, and so it now becomes something that you can't do as consistent. So the one thing that I saw outside of Problem, who his defense was amazing, what I'm seeing is people are blitzing more from depth. So that's really the tip I would like to give to you guys is blitz from depth. That can mean don't try and get a pressure A gap. Don't try and get these B gap things, right? You have the nano detection system in there. But what I'm seeing is blitzing from depth and doing it from a cover 2. And specifically what I saw was something that looked a lot like this. You have different setups, but the pressure comes from this left slot here, Hayden, and there's a lot of people that do what you could call camping, or you call spying on an offensive lineman, hanging around, drawing the attention of the offensive lineman.
I call it holding.
Holding, correct. A lot of different names, but in this instance, you hang right here, hold the weak side of the line. We're going to rush a couple of defenders, and as you can see, the passive pressure, it eventually gets there.
Right.
But then you make defensive adjustments on an every down basis to then cause problems for your opponent. And that's really what I'm seeing. So in that play right there, you saw I brought pressure off that left edge. Where this now becomes a mind game with your opponent is like, what if you do something like this? This time, you don't know where I am. You don't know what I'm bringing. Is it left? Is it right? I'm rolling pressure. Pressure comes off the edge, and now you're rolled. I push a defender in, and that's where problems can become. And that's really my big takeaway was the blitzing from depth, using cover 2. So in this instance right here, cover 2. And another thing I saw a lot of was this, taking these slots out of cover 2 and then manning up weak side defenders.
We talked about this in the show tweet, when we put it out there, we said this was the adjustment. To me, and I've seen it a little bit before the Classic, but in general, this tournament, the number one thing I've seen that I didn't even know that you could do it anymore or would want to do it anymore, we used to do this. We used to man dudes up everywhere.
Right.
We'd man up the tight end with a D end. We'd man up. But the manning up of the cross slots.
That's the staple.
Why are people doing this? And then why is
here's why.
It's the most important adjustment I've seen made on defense since 17 came out.
Here's why. Run double drag so don't word and green.
Okay.
The man-to-man defenders don't get beat as bad when you run a drag to these guys. This is step one. See how they pick each other up? So because that's number one. So that kind of locks down a drag. Now let me go and show you the other thing of why you're manning guys up from across the field.
So should you only do that if you think people are running drags, or it's still pretty good a chunk of the time? Like if I
go to gun bunch, I need to go to gun bunch
okay.
and go to Z spot. Flip it.
Z spot.
Z spot, not Z spot dig.
Z spot. Z spot. There it is.
Okay. So what I'm seeing in this instance is the following, right? So say you are sending your passive pressure, right? This is what I'm seeing from people do. So here's your play, it's set up, right? Then I'm seeing this happening. I'm seeing they're manning up B, and then they'd man up who they think the drag is A. And then they'd have 2 extra defenders, maybe something like, okay, I'm going to put a buzz over there to take that away, hard flat, and then I use it here. The man up, you're going to see that the D end that's man up on the drag A, or drag, I should man up, drag X actually, reset your play, and drag X. Yeah, so that now, what you're going to see here is the drag will be defended pretty well against the backside right there. See how he gets in front of it? And then look at the trail defender on the Z spot route.
Yeah.
So that's why you're seeing it. These defenders are trailing, and they're like getting it out in front of the most popular routes. So let me show you that again, right? Like if I were to just play man-to-man on the outside with Sanders on the outside, now run the play. If I were to just play straight man-to-man, you see how he gets beat right there? He comes back and makes the play. But what you really want, because people are throwing left trigger throws and they're cutting the ball off, you really want a defender that kind of literally is out of position. You want like the defender to play really poorly, and then you want to identify where's the drag coming from, and then on the opposite side of the field, man him up, because the defender will he's out in front of the drag, so he doesn't get beat. So take a look at this. Watch let's look at the drag first on that last play. So let's take a look at this defender here. When you look at the drag, see how he's like anticipating? He's like, okay, he's coming. I know he's coming.
Right.
And then see how he's that much in front of him? And then when he gets there, okay, you're gonna throw a drag now?
You're not gonna gain. It's too late. Once a drag crosses like
midfield, basically.
Halfway between the hash and the 40. Like once he gets there, you can't. First of all, a trailing defender can cut it off. Secondly, you can't really rack it as well, and it's harder to get the throw there, and you just don't gain as many yards.
So now watch this. Now drag X again.
Yeah.
Now let's just say the difference.
Because he's right in front of him.
Right in front of him.
So like I would never want to throw a drag after.
Look at the difference.
Yeah, like that's ideal.
That's why. You see the difference?
Yeah.
You're talking 6 to 7 yards of separation. And what else I'm finding is that, like, in general, that manned up is good because most people are at some point are going to throw a post.
And are people clicking on to man up the guys, or they're doing it from far away?
They're doing it on one guy like this. Watch, they would go like this.
So they stay on Bates. So that's the adjustment that they're making that is huge, and they're not even having to click off their own guy. They're just kind of getting everything set up.
Right.
Wow. And yeah, there's the drag.
See how he
waiting
defends it?
for him.
And then
Like, you don't
look at
really
B.
want to
Look
throw
at
it
B.
anymore.
You can't throw B.
Right. And you could, but like that's just. I mean, that's.
Got it.
You're not gonna make a living doing that,
right.
You know.
But I think primarily what you need to do with this defense, like this isn't a set it up and like you're gonna win every game forever. You need to know specifically like for example, if you were to come out in that like I'm just trying to think of like another formation. Like come out in gun wide trips open.
Okay.
And so like when I see this formation, I'm worried about 2 plays primarily. Well, I'm worried about wide receiver fork, and then I'm worried about PA wide receiver in.
Right.
So knowing that, I would have to go in. I'd grab my defense. Let me just go grab this. Go to cover 2. Right. I'd grab my defense and I go, okay. I know that the far left post causes problems for me, so I'm gonna man him up with X, right? And then I also know that I need to take away the corner in the flat on the left. So I would probably do something like that. Like I'd probably go, like that could be the adjustment. I would just man up one guy, which is that post. So he's the post there, and if you go to play action wide receiver in,
Yep.
you're gonna find that like that post still goes to where you need to be.
Right.
So you need to like beforehand to make this work. You need to identify like the plays that how you need to set up. Like go to PA wide receiver in now. Let me show me the play out. See how he's the same post is there, right? So, like in general, this would be the setup against this formation. You'd go, okay, I'm gonna buzz in a flat on one side. I'm gonna man up that post, and then I'm gonna just get real adjusting and usury everywhere else. Like he's in position to make a play.
Right, I caught it, but it's fine. Like
Right.
I don't want to throw that. So, right, and then I have to somehow come up with like a counter like this. And
Right,
then,
that could be a good counter
you
because
know,
if
and then
I
you're
do
still
that,
manning up dudes though on the right side of the screen. But yeah, maybe X. You know, like X is going to be wasted here, but
Right.
that's fine. I don't think this is going to get open. Like that's like maybe that, but I've seen the safety crash in, so very difficult there to beat those manned up things. You don't want to run. You don't want to run to them. You want to keep stay away from them to make that adjustment not valuable.
So just what I would say as we head into the Madden Classic, we are 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. It's 3 weeks away. I don't know, but December 1st through December 3rd, the live finals of the Madden Classic will be happening. I'm really excited about it. I just want, as a community, that one way we grow is we communicate the information that you're seeing and help other people learn it and understand it. So that's where we're coming in. We're saying, you know, these are the things to look out for. These are the things that you're going to see. And one way to help other people kind of get into this and love the game as much as we love it is to help them understand it and not have it be things like, oh, he's running this glitch, he's running this thing. We want to rally people and have people think like this is like, it's all the reasons we love the game.